Hello, welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen. How are you doing today? Not too bad on this end. So, if you ever are sitting in front of a computer or a tablet and you are just bored, research the history of soap making. It's really kind of a fascinating thing how far back it goes and what people used to make it. I mean, I think it goes like Egyptians and just way back, it's really fascinating. But anyway, my mom and I were talking, like we came across an article, that's how it started, where you weren't supposed to use lye soap to clean your cast iron skillet. That's where it started. And it was like, why? That's all they had, like, why not, right? So, we were wondering, like, what did people use, for soap? My husband asked his grandma what they used as kids, because I know my grandma made soap. I know she made soap, but I think it was more for laundry and dishes, right? I'm not even sure because she's gone. But Lydia said all the soap they used was the same. So there was no super fat. It was probably the 0%. It was probably lard, unless they did save the tallow from beef, but probably lard soap. And it was used for everything, for bathing or washing dishes, washing laundry, everything. And so it was just kind of like, well, why can't you use it on a cast iron skillet, Like, I don't know. It was really fascinating. And, it's and when you go back into the history and read even 100 years back, when I think that's about the time synthetic detergents came about, okay? That's where all the skin irritations started popping up, People are allergic, breaking out and, just... Did you ever get itchy in the shower? My son, I did too, actually, when I think back on it. And I know my oldest son, he would come out of the shower and be like, I don't know why I itch, And I was trying to buy really good quality, shampoos and, but yeah, and none of us have this problem anymore, the skin irritations, and not everybody, it doesn't affect everybody. Synthetic detergents don't affect everybody, but still, it's like, I don't know, it's just me, it's just my opinion. But anyway, we're doing a soap, we're doing all jacked up because I redid it. I didn't redo it, I didn't change the recipe, I tweaked a little bit of the process, and you're gonna see a beautiful drop swirl. 3 things: dream big, be true to you, you are worth it. Let's go check it out. Yeah, so literally I was watching another soaper do a cold process shave soap with high stearic acid, and interesting enough, this is what I'm going to do here, slowly added the lye, okay? So just a little bit at a time, she added the lye. She said it was cold process, but yet she was kind of cooking it a little bit. But it was like, it was like that aha moment where, oh my gosh. Because you've seen me do the minty mango shave bars, and I just dump it in, and then it solidifies so fast. But yet in there, when I'm cooking it, I keep mixing it to get it to that beautiful silky color. And with cold process, I've been struggling with this, with adding stearic acid in the oils. Well, stearic acid is in oils, but a stearic acid flakes to bump the stearic fatty acid ratios. and ending up with a thicker bar, or not a thicker batter. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. And yeah, so I needed more all jacked up. I mean, you guys, it takes 6 weeks to cure, 4 to 6 weeks. So, you have somebody buy half the batch, and I know I'm not a very efficient soaper. I just like to make soap, so it it's my thing. But anyway, haven't changed anything else, okay? Nothing else. It is still the same jojoba beads, orange peel, and pumice powder. I actually had to grind some more orange peel. That didn't change. It's still the French green clay with the Kermit mica in the green. It's still the activated charcoal in the black and just straight kale and clay in the white. Okay? So none of that has changed. And look at that. Okay? And I'm still, and okay. The one thing that kind of blew my test out of the water, being it's all jacked up, is the lime essential oil. And we did talk about citrus oils, fragrance oils, and essential oils can slow trace. But you've seen me do this twice, right? And all I did was tweak that little thing, okay? I've done it twice, and it's all hardened up, or got thick. It didn't harden up, but it got thick, right? So it's amazing. And that's why I watch other soapers, because I'm constantly learning things, and hopefully, well, I doubt they're going to watch mine and learn things, but maybe I can give them some creativity, right? But yeah, it was that aha moment where, oh my gosh, I am going to try this. And you know what? It stayed fluid. I was so shocked. It worked for me. And I've seen articles where they're like, oh, don't put stearic. It was actually on some soaping forum. And they're like, don't put stearic acid in cold process. You can't use stearic acid in cold process. Why not? I mean, obviously it thickens up, but why not? That's how you bump the fatty acid profile quickly. 1 ounce of stearic acid, or 1%. I think this is 5%. It wasn't a lot. That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't thicken it up, but it did. It did, because every single batch I've done with the stearic acid in cold process thickens up. And I'm just floored that this stuff stayed so fluid. So this is a totally different recipe than the what do we use? The Making Waves and the honeysuckle orange. Okay, totally different recipe, right? And you've seen this recipe thicken up on me twice with the lime essential oil in there. And wow, sometimes it's like, maybe it's good to play around and try something different, because yeah, I'm still floored. I'm tickled pink, but I'm still floored. So yeah, so hopefully I get to the pour here. I'm going to actually show it to you from 2 different angles, so you kind of get a little more of understanding of what I mean with the drop swirl. Okay, so on this one, the mold is right there on the bottom. Okay, and I've already poured because I forgot to hit the volume. But you just, from up high, you just pour that batter, just shoom, shoom, shoom. See, I'm just, no rhyme or reason, just back and forth up high, so it breaks that plane. And, and swoops down and makes those beautiful swirls. And then I'm going to show you from the top, just because, so you that is the same. That is the same height. It's just a different angle. And just remember, you put a third a third to a half of it, what you call a base, down to, it gives it that plane to start making swirls. If you don't have enough base on the bottom, your swirls might be a little flatter, you know? It's like diving into a pool. If it's a shallow pool, you ain't diving. So, yeah, I mean, this stuff stayed fluid just like the other stuff. Just like the other stuff. Like, I had to wait because I was just going to swirl the top. Well, actually, I was going to sculpt the top. And then in the end, I decided to swirl the top. But I had done all my dishes and all my cleanup. And I came back and just swirled the top. However, I learned I should have sprayed it with isopropyl alcohol while it was sitting there because of the soda ash on it. But yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, beautiful fluid. What the heck? What the heck? You know? Like, I don't know what it is. It's like if that's all it takes is to start slow with your lye water, and you know what? You could almost feel the soap heat up while I was mixing it. Like after I had dumped all the lye water in and was mixing there, you could almost feel it just heat up and maybe kind of go through the process it does in a little different way, but when it's in the crock pot and you keep going till you get that beautiful silky color. And maybe that is part of the thing too, because I do know that the stearic acid really attaches to the lye fast. If it was a race, the stearic acid would win over all the other oils. But yeah. Maybe there's a super chemist out there that can explain this to me in, detail. If not, that's okay. It was just super fun to do and amazing. And so here it was after it sat, and I decided I wasn't going to sculpt the top. I just was done. Look, it's still fluid. And I realized I can't do that backwards. I can only do it one way. But I should have sprayed it. I did spray it at this point. Put it in a low heat. I waited till it was down. My oven was down to 140 to put it in because of the jojoba beads. I can never say those. Yeah, and C-popped. Okay, see this soda ash? You can really see it on this one. Really see it on this. Yeah. It was really bad. It was really thick. Like, it was crazy thick. But it didn't go through the whole bar. It was just on top. And this happens with a lot of fluid soaps. It's very common to get soda ash on when you have a very thin batter. Because, my mahogany and teak wood, remember that was super thick. And even the previous all jacked up, super thick, didn't have a problem with soda ash. Sometimes I do later after it sits out for a while, but I don't know why that is. But yeah, so I tried steaming it, it's beautiful on top. Beautiful now. Maybe I should take my steamer out more often, huh? And to the cut. This was so much fun, you guys. Like, I was just stoked. If I could have cut it right away, I would have. Obviously not happening. But I had to wait. They allotted 24 hours to cut it. And I still took my corner off. I fixed my corner. I didn't show you. But I did. When they unmolded it, my corner came off. I was like, whoa, what the heck? But yeah. But the nice thing about thin pores is you don't, you tap the mold down a little bit at the end, but you really don't have air bubbles. I don't ever get air bubbles in my soap, in these thin pores normally, which, makes sense because, how would you, thicker pores, yeah, I got issues all over the place. me. It's just me. But look at this, you guys. Look at this. Isn't that just gorgeous? That is, in reality, the way the all jacked up is kind of supposed to be. I think the first original one was with a hanger zigzag pattern, but I like this. I did the swirls after that because I like the swirls, but like this is the way it's supposed to be. Not, I mean, look at those. They're just beautiful swirls and down and around, and I mean, you couldn't, and every single one is different. You know, you might have that where the cut is, you know, so they kind of look similar, but I'll never make this pattern again. It'll be similar, but I'll never get the same exact swirls. So the orange in there, I'm pointing out, that is the orange peel powder, okay? Not dreaded orange spots. Dreaded orange spots in soap means the oils are bad, okay? It means the oils are going bad, kind of. It's basically rancid soap, but it's still, people say it's still usable soap. I haven't had that happen, knock on wood. Like, seriously, knock on wood? I haven't had that happen yet, so I'm really happy. So it's not the dreaded orange spots, it's just the orange peel powder. So there you go, the new all jacked up. I hope you had a good time. I had a hell of a time. I hope that you come back next time. I really appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.